you please state your name for the court?
James Dollahite,
And where are you employed, Officer Dollahite?
Crittenden County Sheriff's Department.
Okay. Were you on duty on May the 5th of 1993?
I was.
Okay. Do you remember being dispatched to the Highland Trailer Park that evening?
Yes, sir.
Remember what time that was?
That was 6:30 p.m.
May I approach the witness, Your Honor? Do you recognize that document, officer?
Yes, it's a duplicate of that day's radio log.
It says, if I'm reading this correctly, that you were out at the Deadman residence, reference to a complaint from Dollars.
I received a call down there, yes, sir, but I was not out at the Dollar residence.
Okay. Now, when that says called by 619, is that your unit number?
That's my unit number, yes, sir.
Okay, so that means you called in and told the dispatcher that you were there at that time?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What does 1831 mean for somebody like me that doesn't know anything about military time?
6:31.
Okay. Now, did you go out there a second time, officer?
Yes, sir, I did.
And what time was it that you went back out the second time?
That was 6:31.
6:31? Okay. Your Honor, we'd like to offer the log sheet for the dispatcher into evidence.
No objection, Your Honor.
Right.
It's a complete log sheet.
All right, it may be received.
Number 4 for this.
I don't have any objection.
I believe that's our 4th exhibit. Mark it as such. May I exhibit it to the jury?
Yes.
Tell the court and the jury, please, what happened the first time that you went out there.
I arrived on the scene. I met with the complainants, a Bobby Dollar and a Stephanie Dollar, in reference to a complaint that he was making on a subject by the name of Connie Molden, in reference to a battery complaint which he alleges she pulled his hair and pulled him off his bicycle.
Okay. When you first got out there, did you go to the wrong place the first time?
No, sir.
Okay. Did you ever go to the Dollar trailer?
No, sir.
Okay. How many squad cars were out there that
On the first complaint,
mm-hmm.
myself.
And the second complaint?
Myself.
No other vehicles present, no other squad cars?
The third complaint,
Okay. How many were there then?
that was myself, 2 Marion police units.
Okay. Now, you told the West Memphis Police Department that you don't remember seeing Jesse out there while you were there. Is that correct?
Your Honor, I've got to object to leading.
Rephrase your question.
Do you recall making a statement to the West Memphis Police
Your
Department?
Honor, I object to leading.
Judge, I don't know how else to ask the question.
You can
I'm
ask
asking.
whether or not the person was there or not.
Well, yeah, I'm going to allow you to ask him about a previous statement, but you've got to first give him an opportunity to either admit or deny that he made a statement. I mean, you just ask him whether he made a statement? Is that what you're asking?
At this point, what he's asking is not consistent or inconsistent with anything the witness has said.
Well, I understand that, but I'm going to allow him to say, did you or did you not make a statement?
That's what I was asking.
All
Your
right,
Honor.
go ahead.
You need me to repeat the question, Officer?
No,
Dollahite?
sir, I submitted a handwritten statement to the West Memphis Police Department, yes, sir.
And what was the contents of that statement?
Contents of that statement, they requested whether or not I saw Jesse Misskelley anytime in Highland Trailer Park,
While you were there on this call?
on all 3 calls.
Okay. And do you remember seeing Jesse
He
there?
was
that night?
not there.
Is it possible that he was there and you just don't remember it?
No, sir.
How can you be so sure, Officer Dollahite? Is it just that you want to be sure, or that
Let
you
him
are
answer the
sure?
question.
No, sir, I did not see Jesse Misskelley there.
Well, how can you be sure that he wasn't there and you just didn't see him?
If he was in, I'm not saying he wasn't in Highland Trailer Park. I'm just saying he
Nothing
was
further.
not where I was.
Your Honor, before I pass the witness, I would like to offer his incident report into evidence as well. We talked about that previously in chambers.
You talking about the police report?
Yes, Your
Are
Honor.
you objecting to it?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
All right, my same ruling.
Where's the exhibit? Have you passed the witness?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Detective Dollahite, I want to show you it's been marked or introduced as Defendant's Exhibit 4, and give you a highlighter here. And if you could highlight the times on here when you went to Highland Park on May the 5th. Okay, and are all of these at Highland Park?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All those are highlighted from the
All right.
times the call was received, the
What
times I got on the
time-
scene.
I noticed that what you've marked is every one of them shows 619, except some of them show 619 and 42 and 32. What is the 619?
The 619 is my unit number.
Okay, and who's 42?
That's Marion City unit, and the other one will be a Marion City unit.
All right, the 32 would be a Marion City unit
Yes,
too?
sir.
All right, what time was the first time that you went out to Highland Park on May the 5th?
I received a call at 6:17.
6:17.
I arrived on the scene at 6:27.
All right, well, let me stop you right there and ask you a question about that. All right, you received a call at 6:17, and beside on Defendant's Exhibit 4, it says 1019 Bobby Dollar residence, Highland Park, rate a battery complaint. Does that mean that you were at the Bobby Dollar residence?
No, sir.
All right, what does the 1019 mean?
The 1019 means acknowledge that I had received the call to go to that residence at 8:17.
All right, and did you start out that way when you got that call?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, did you make it to the Bobby Dollar residence?
No, sir.
All right, if you look on this map up here of Highland Park, you can take my red pen and circle, of course this is West Memphis down here, Highland Park up here. If you could circle the general area where the Bobby Dollar residence is located.
Bobby Dollar residence is located somewhere in this area here.
All right. And when you were going to, responding to this call, where did you go? How did you go to get there?
I came to Service Road, which is adjacent to Interstate 55 North.
Okay. And again, if you could take this yellow marker and highlight the route that you went, and then where you turned into Highland Park.
Came down the Service Road, turned into Highland Park at the first entrance.
Okay. And after turning into Highland Park at the first entrance, where did you go?
I stopped at the intersection here and met with the Dollars.
All right. Now on the map, it shows that road kind of dead end in there, and then going to the left. Does it actually go all the way through
This,
this street right here?
your map has got me confused here. This doesn't show the entrance. This will be the first entrance. The second entrance is the entrance at dead end.
Okay. We got a first entrance and then a second
Yes,
entrance.
you've got two entrances into Highland Park.
Okay. But you met the Dollars right here on the corner.
I'm at the intersection with a stop sign.
Okay.
Which is a through intersection east and west and north and south.
Okay. Now this, let me get this other map. this map accurate as opposed to that one?
Yeah, this one shows one intersection, this map shows two intersections.
All right, so is it more accurate that this street ought to go all the way through this one?
This street should come here.
All right, let me look here, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 to the first entrance. Is that right?
The fourth one is the first
All right,
entrance.
so this is the fourth one, right? So this street ought to come on out here, right? And this street ought to come on to this one.
Both of these entrances, both entrances.
relevance to this is.
Well, Your Honor was asking questions about it, and if the map of Highland Park that's on this is not accurate, we ought to be able to develop
I'll
that.
have just one making that question. All right, go ahead.
There are two entrances in Highland Park.
All right, we got one here and one here, right?
The dead end entrance is the last entrance. This map is incorrect. This entrance should be here.
All right, well, after the, all right, how many streets from this entrance is it to the north, the last street on the north end?
There are 4 crossways.
All right. 1, 2.
Here on this map, which is the layout of Highland Park.
Okay, is this the accurate on this
Yes,
map?
on this map it is, yes, sir.
Okay. Your Honor, can we offer this map?
Somewhere we are.
Here's Highland Park right there.
There.
Mm-hmm.
Also, let's see what it says.
Yeah.
I don't have any objection now.
All right, it may be received, God, okay.
Any one of your stickers. Oh, I'll make that change. Yep. 105. C. B. 105B. All right, I'm going to mark this 105B. All right, so the map up here isn't exactly accurate.
No, it's incorrect.
All right, but this one on 105B is Highland Park.
That's right.
Yes, sir. Would you circle the Highland Park area with that red pen so the jury won't have? Okay. All right. Now you came to the first entrance from the north. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. All right. You let go of it now. All right. Now you may take the stand too. After you came to the first entrance from the north, you turn off the service road and you went down to the first intersection.
The first intersection.
All right. And who did you meet there?
Bobby and Stephanie Dollar.
All right. And did you take a report there?
Yes, sir, I did.
All right. And is that when you were there at 627, which is the second entry on Defendant's Exhibit 4?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, after taking this complaint, did you go back out there?
Yes, sir, I received a second call.
All right. What time was that?
That was received that call at 18:31, which would be 6:31.
Okay. Now, let me back up. On the first time you were there, did you see the defendant?
No, sir.
All right. Are you acquainted with the defendant?
Yes, sir.
On the second call, when you got there at 6:31, did you see the defendant?
No, sir.
If he had been within 5 yards of your car, would there have been anything to prevent you from seeing him?
No, sir.
All right. When did you go? Did you have another call there?
Yes, sir, received another call at 18:43, which is 6:43. I arrived on the scene at 6:47, which is be 18:47 according to the radio law.
Okay. And who was there at that time?
It was myself, Officer McCafferty, and Officer Jason Oliver.
Okay. Now, on this occasion, did you see the defendant?
No, sir.
All right. All right, and did you have any other calls?
No, sir, that was the last call.
All right. What is this one at 1859?
That's when I checked in service, the 2 Marion units checked in service. Completed.
Is that after completing what you were doing?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, now. Did you ever that day actually go to Stephanie Dollar's residence?
No, sir.
All right. Did you even drive by her house?
No, sir, I don't recall.
Okay. Were you familiar and acquainted with the defendant before May the 5th?
Yes, sir.
Do you know about how long you've been acquainted with him?
I've been knowing the family for approximately 22, 23 years.
Okay. Of course, you hadn't been knowing the defendant that long, huh?
No, sir.
Okay. But been also acquainted with him during that period of time, too?
Yes, sir.
Oh, the first time that you went out there and met with the Dollars, when you were talking to him, how many other people were around the car?
Myself, Bobby Dollar, and Stephanie Dollar.
Okay. There weren't anybody else standing around the car that
No,
you
sir.
saw?
No, sir.
All right. How about the second time you went out there?
There was myself, Connie Molden, and several youngsters.
Okay. When you say youngsters, what age are you talking about?
Ages 3 to maybe 8.
Okay. And the last time you went out there?
I was myself, Connie Molden, her husband, her children, several other neighborhood children.
Okay. But not the defendant?
No, sir.
I don't have any further questions.
All right, you may stand down. Any reason to keep him in attendance?
No.
You're free to go.
Thank you, ma'am.
And ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you may stand in recess until 1:15 for lunch with the usual admonition not to discuss.